This is a super exciting video to make. I haven't made one like this for quite some time, but we are going to talk about audiophile products under $150. And it's very important because most of these are on sale right now for the holiday promotions. So sit down, grab a cup of coffee, and let's talk about 12 audiophile products under $150. You can mix, you can match, you can put together a system, a killer system for not a lot of money. So sit down and drink some coffee. We got a lot of ground to cover, so we need to get started. You want to talk about speakers? You want to talk about amps first? Sources? What do you want to talk about? Well, I can't hear what you're saying, so we'll talk about speakers first. First on the list is an oldie, a classic. I covered this on the channel way back in the beginning, 4 years ago, maybe more than 4 years ago. It's the NUMMI BS5. It's $109, 5¼ inch woofer, front ported. I believe it's a 3/4 inch soft dome tweeter. I need to get these back in because I sold them. Because at the beginning of the channel, I didn't have any money, so every time I reviewed something, I had to sell it. Anyway, well regarded. Check out the reviews on Amazon. It's a great speaker. It's small, but it's fairly easy to drive for the size, and it sounds great. Very neutral speaker. And the next speaker, of course, is the Sony SSCS5. I didn't think I'd be able to include it in today's list because it's been going for $199. $199 is the new MSRP. However, it is now $130 on sale. It may go down a little bit more. It may go down around $90, but I haven't seen that for over a year. 2.5 way, super tweeter, 5¼ inch woofer. They're pretty good. Actually, they're right here. I like these so much that I still continue to use them on the regular for my desktop speakers. A little bit scooped out in the mid-range, sometimes can be a little harsh on the top end, but if you get that tweeter below ear level, a lot of times you can diminish, get a little off axis so it's not as intense, or just tow them out. The next speaker, I was surprised at this one. We have the Polk XT15 coming in on sale for $139 right now at Amazon or at Crutchfield. This is a very good little speaker. I was kind of surprised because the T15s were terrible, but the XT15s are pretty good. 2-way, 5¼ inch woofer, 1 inch soft dome tweeter, Terraline tweeter, I think they call it. Sounds really good. I think it actually is a little bit more neutral than the Sony and a little bit more dynamic than the NUMMI BS5. So out of all of these speakers, it's probably the best all-arounder. And I think it's also the easiest to drive. The last speaker coming in right underneath our $150 limit is the Mica RB42. This speaker can sound good if you're pumping some juice through it. You're getting some power, you're getting some SPL out of it. It's tiny, but it's like a cinder block. It's a little brick. 4 inch woofer, huge surround, 3/4 inch soft dome tweeter, comes in at $149. Thing about this speaker though, it's 83 dB sensitive, which means to get a little bit of life out of it, you do have to have some power on tap. If you are watching this, I know 60% of you watching this video right now are not subscribed to the channel. Donate your subscription today. It may be deductible on next year's taxes or this year's taxes. I'm not sure about that. You should probably consult your accountant or tax preparation professional. Donate it right now. Just click and subscribe. You can always unsubscribe later. Trust me, 1,500 people do it every month. So, The best amps right now, most of them on sale. The best audiophile amps under $150. We're going to start it off with the Fozzy Audio ZA3. The reason I like this amplifier is because you can bridge it and run it in mono. So later on, you can buy another one. It's going to be another $150. You can also add your own op amps. So if you want to get the ones I recommend, the ones that I love very, very much, are the Sparkos op amps. You can look at Burson op amps. They're a little bit more expensive. You can look at some other Texas Instruments op amps that are a little bit more affordable, but buy them from a reputable brand. A lot of the stuff that comes from AliExpress, I've heard, I can't confirm, the rumor is a lot of them are fake. So if you go directly to Sparkos' website, generally you get 25% off too on your first order, made in the USA. Great company. Anyway, the Fozzy ZA3 has balanced inputs and a single-ended RCA input. Technically, you have two inputs, only if you have a balanced source and a single-ended source, though. The next one is a full-size component, and it's on sale. This Fozzy is not on sale, but the Sony is on sale. It's their 2-channel amplifier, very warm-sounding amplifier, which is good because a warm amplifier covers up a lot of sins in recordings. It also has Bluetooth, and that Bluetooth actually sounds pretty good because the amp is so warm. $148 right now. That used to go on sale for $99, but it's a heck of a deal because for $149 you're getting a phono amp, integrated phono amp, 2 or 3 other analog inputs, and Bluetooth, and a remote control. It's not built extremely well. You can tell when you pick it up, it's a little bit sketchy, but for $148 for a full-size component that's traditionally distributed and sold through traditional retail channels, it's kind of a deal, and it sounds pretty good. No DAC inside though. Fozzy Audio BT20A Pro. That is coming in on sale right now for $80. Normally priced at $100, and the Sony's normally priced at $200 now. Anyway, the Fozzy Audio BT20A has tone controls and it has Bluetooth. You only get one RCA input though. So for some of these speakers that we're talking about under $150, you want to kind of have tone controls because you can kind of tweak that sound to where you want it to be. And some of these speakers, none of them are perfect, obviously, at $150. So having a little bit of tone control is going to benefit you because you can dial these in just right to your taste. The last one, also on the BT20A Pro, I believe you can roll those op amps. The A07 Max from IEMA is a very interesting one too because it has similar functionality to the Fozzy Audio ZA3 where it can be bridged, and it's coming in at $74, which means you can buy one, run 2 speakers off of it for $74, and then if you want, buy another one, run them in mono, get more power, because they're coming in at $74, which means you could buy 2 of them for $148. 2 mono amps for under $150. I think I have one right here. Nope, I gave those away to patrons. My Patreon. Speaking of patrons, if you want to join the best hi-fi community on the planet, check out patreon.com/cheapaudioman. We have Sunday Zooms. We have Discord group, private Facebook group. People trade gear. They sell gear. It's a great group. Very uplifting. Very positive. No shenanigans allowed in the Cheap Audio Man Patreon community. I think that's it. Okay. Sources. In my extensive research, I got very excited because there are some sources that you can get for under $150, and I was quite surprised. First of all, we're going to talk about some DACs. DAC is a digital to analog converter, which means you'll need to be hooking something up to that DAC, whether it be a computer, a television, a CD player, whatever it is, you're going to need to hook up something to it. But by using an external DAC, almost invariably, you're going to get better sound. And the first one is on sale right now at $68. It's awesome. Has the AKM 4493S chipset in it. It is the SMSL SU1. Tiny little DAC. I think I have this one. I do have this one, because this one I am not giving away. So on the back you have a coax input, an optical input, and a USB input, and that's how you power it, is with the USB connection. So if you have this plugged into a computer, that's how it's powering it. Otherwise you need to use a little 5-volt charger, like a cell phone charger, to turn this thing on. It sounds absolutely spectacular. It sounds better, in my opinion, than the step-up SMSL version using the same chipset, the 4493S chipset. It's incredible. Now what you can do is you can combine this $67 DAC, and you can get a $35 retail Sony DVD player. You can watch DVDs on it, but what you're really going to be using it for is as a CD transport, because the internal DAC in the Sony DVD player, really terrible, quite terrible, but it has a coaxial output. So you take your Sony CD or DVD player, you take the coaxial output, you plug it into here, and then you plug this into whatever amp you have. $35 plus $67 is $103. Is that right? What's 67 plus 35? $102. Can't do math today. That's a pretty spectacular deal if you think about it, because for way less than the $150 threshold, you're getting a very capable CD player, one that sounds very good. I actually did a comparison between the Sony DVD player using an outboard DAC versus a $600 Rotel CD player, and I couldn't tell a difference, which is huge. Now that CD player isn't built really well. It's super light. You will probably push it off the rack when you hit the open button, because it's so light. It's weighs about a notebook, less than a notebook. Anyway, it sounds really good, and it has a remote control. All right, next up for our sources under $150. Here's a classic. It's the Schiit Modi, another DAC. Very similar to this as far as inputs, but you get a bit of a different sound. You get the Schiit sound, and it doesn't sound like Schiit. Sounds pretty good. That's coming in at $130. Everything from Schiit is made in the US, specifically made in Texas now. Great product, great company. It's been around for a while, and they kind of broke the hi-fi industry when they started making headphone amps and DACs for, it used to be about $100, and that was a long time ago. So still being able to get a Modi for $130 new is outstanding. You can look up online and find some of these used, so you can save even more money. All right, now I'm saving the best for last, but this one, I'm cheating a little bit, but it's on a big sale, and it's only $9 above our $150 threshold. It is $159. Blown away. I can't believe it. This is incredible. It's on sale right now. It's the Fluence RT80, coming in at $150. MSRP normal price on that is $200. It's a great turntable. It's not as good as the RT82, 83, 84, and 85. It has a different motor, but it's still, for an entry-level turntable, an amazing deal. And it has a pre-installed phono preamp, which means you can use it with the Fozzy Audio BT20A, the ZA3, the A07 Max from IEMA, any of these small Class D amplifiers. You can plug the RT80 right into it. And it has some cool features like auto stop. So if you're into vinyl, and I will put my name on this as kind of a stamp of approval, because the Fluence series is built way better than the Audio-Technica stuff. Way better. Audio-Technica feels like a toy compared to the Fluence. Real nice, thick plinth. It's awesome. Are you ready for the best source under $150, which also is on sale right now? That is the Weem Pro Streamer. fundamentally, it's also a preamp because it does have an analog input. So you could buy this and hook it up to your Fuzzy Audio. You could hook it up to your IEMA, whatever it is. You're getting another analog input. You're getting an optical input, an optical output, a coaxial output, and a trigger output. And the reason why this is important is because you can use this as your streamer, as your preamp, which means you can control volume on this. But if you want to upgrade, then you can buy something like the Fuzzy Audio, or nope, this SMSL SU1, and get even better sound out of this thing. The Weem Pro also has a 10-band EQ, a parametric EQ. It also has room correction. It also gives you access to the best streaming platform available, the best budget streaming platform available. You can Bluetooth to it. You can also AirPlay to it. Works with Tidal, Spotify, Qobuz, a whole bunch of other Pandora. I think if anybody's into the Pandora, I think Sirius XM too, if you're interested. And for $119 on sale, this thing is it's absolutely bananas what you can do with this. And I use the Weem Pro all of the time for comparison purposes. Usually I'm using an outboard DAC though. But the great thing about most of these products is they have an upgrade path. So you can buy this to begin with, then you buy an awesome DAC, and then you put it on an awesome ZA3, then you roll the op amps on the ZA3, then you buy another ZA3. I mean, the cool thing about these products are most of them are upgradable. Sony, not upgradable. Whatever you get with it. And the speakers are obviously not upgradable, unless you want to tear it apart and rebuild the crossover. Anyway, I hope you like this video. If you are interested in any of these products, I would buy them now. I don't think they'll be a better price. If you have someone that is interested in hi-fi, please share this video to them. Let them know that they don't need to spend a ton of money to get awesome sound. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a comment below if I missed anything. Like and subscribe.